Hello, I'm Mary Lou Metzger, your host for the Lawrence Welk Show. It's a tribute to the big bands taped in 1960 in glorious black and white. Some of the bands saluted on this program include Tommy and Jimmy Dorsey, Kaye Kyser, Harry James, Benny Goodman, Glen Miller, and Count Basie. But the real treat of this program will be meeting the one and only Rocky Rockwell at the end of the show. Stay with us. And here's the maestro himself, Lawrence Welk.
Thank you so much, my good friends. A pleasant good evening and a warm welcome to our show, Great Dance Bands on Parade. Tonight we will bring you the sounds of more than 30 of America's great bands. I will not announce or identify these bands until after their song has been played. So may we suggest you get a pencil and paper and see how many of these orchestras you can remember. We'll start with an easy one, the gentleman who started this whole trend. Thank you. I know most of you recognize our good friend, Paul Whiteman, and his Rhapsody in Blue. The next orchestra leader has been a very successful one and has had many imitators, including yours truly. Millions of people have danced to his wonderful music, so how about you folks dancing to him right now? 1, 2, and...
crying for you. And as I sit here and sigh, say I can't believe it's true. Boo-hoo. I'll tell my mama on you. The little game that you played has made her baby oh so blue. You left me in the lurch. You left me waiting at the church. Ooh, that's why I'm crying for you. Someday you'll feel like I do, and you'll be boo-hooing too.
Yes, you're right. The sweetest music this side of heaven, Guy Lombardo. Now here's a friendly rival who gave us a lot of competition at the Trianon and Aragon ballrooms in Chicago. Gentlemen. Thank you, Peggy Lennon. And that, ladies and gentlemen, was Wayne King, the Waltz King. This next gentleman not only had a wonderful orchestra, but introduced more singing stars than any other band leader. You will remember.
Coming to you from the College of Musical Knowledge. I'm sure you remember some of the graduates of our school, like Jenny Sims, and Sully Mason, and Harry Babbitt. Well, if it isn't our old friend Ishka Bibble.
Hello, Professor. I'd like to recite a poem. And happy and never grow old.
Mm-hmm.
And I'd like to know what's under this stove.
Now I'd like to introduce these lovely children singing a song we made famous some years ago, Who Wouldn't Love You?
Who wouldn't love you? Who wouldn't care? You're so enchanting, people must stare. You're the dream that dreamers want to dream about. You're the breath of spring that lovers gad about or mad about. Who wouldn't love you? Who wouldn't the answer to my every prayer, darling. Who wouldn't love you? Who wouldn't care? Who wouldn't love you? Who wouldn't care? You're so enchanting, people must stare. You're the dream that dreamers want to dream about. You're the breath, the spring that love has got about or mad about. Who wouldn't love you? Who wouldn't buy the west side of heaven if you just winked your eye? You're the answer to my every prayer, darling. Who wouldn't love you? Who wouldn't care?
Thank you, girls. And of course, that was the song made so popular by the old professor, Kyser. Our teenage trumpet star, Warren Luening, will honor one of the all-time greats with the melody he made famous. The horn, Harry James. Here, ladies and gentlemen, is the master showman, and he continues to make the nation happy with his battered head and clarinet. Jack Imel will do the honors.
When my baby smiles at me, yeah, my thoughts go rolling, rolling to paradise, yeah. And when my little baby smiles at me, folks, oh, what a wonderful light that comes to her eyes, yeah. Play it, boys. Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Is everybody happy? Thank you, Ted Lewis.
nice, fellas. Yes, the name and music of the late Glen Miller will never be forgotten. What wonderful music he gave us. Now let's see how many of you folks will remember this next orchestra later, and why didn't you all sing along with him?
Now, folks, here's a story about Minnie the Moocher. She was a downtown hoochie coocher. She was the roughest and the toughest frail, but Minnie had a heart as big as a whale. Ho-dee, 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 ho.
Ho-dee, 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 ho.
Hi-dee, hi-dee, hi.
Hi-dee, hi-dee, hi.
Hee-dee, hee-dee, hee.
Hee-dee-hee-dee-hee.
But Minnie had a heart as big as a whale. Now Minnie went down to Chinatown. She went down just to look around. She went to the bar and lying on the floor was poor Smokey, my friends. He just ain't no more. But Minnie had a heart as big as a whale.
And that was Buddy Hayes' impression of Cab Calloway. Frank Scott gives us the well-known theme song of the orchestra leader who adapted the classics into dance music. Of Freddy Martin, a great favorite with everyone, and still appearing here at the Coconut Grove here in Los Angeles. While our champagne music makers present the crisp treatment of this next highly stylized band, Larry Dean gives us the unique presentation of the vocalist who was with this orchestra and now has his own band. 1 and 2 and...
Got to meet her at 7. Got a date with an angel, and I'm on my way to heaven. She's so lovely beside me, and whatever betide me, got an angel to guide me, and I'm on my way to heaven. Soon I'll hear the bells ring out, see the choir sing out, when the pearly gates swing out. off she beckoned to me. No, I've been waiting a lifetime for this evening at 7. Got a date with an angel, and I'm on my way to heaven.
Isn't this a great show, saluting the big bands? Well, coming up, Benny Goodman's Let's Dance and Artie Shaw's Begin the Beguine. And remember, later I'll visit with Welk star Rocky Rockwell and learn about those glorious black and white productions of the Welk show. Now, back to the tribute to the big bands.
Benny Goodman, impersonated by his admirer, Bill Page. Jack Dumont will demonstrate the wonderful saxophone sound of this next band leader. The sound of Tommy Dorsey, and that was his brother Jimmy Dorsey. This next orchestra leader has built himself a reputation by coming up with some unusual sounds and comedy. Dick Dale and Jack Emel will show you what we mean.
Any afternoon at 5,
Sunday at 5,
we'll be so glad we're both alive.
So glad we're alive.
And maybe fortune will complete her plan that all began with cocktails for two. Hip, two, hip, hip, two, two, two.
People laughing and in a happy frame of mind for a long time now. And Spike, that makes us even for your many takeoffs on our band. The ballroom operators throughout the nation love this next orchestra leader. He has a wonderful dance band. So get yourself a partner and dance to his well-known theme. 1, 2. The idol of the airlines, Jan Garber, always has a very wonderful band. The shuffle rhythm was made popular by this orchestra leader. Norman Bailey plays his theme song. 1, 2. Identified with only one instrument, but this next man not only played a great trombone, but also piano, and is well known as a composer. I believe you will recognize him immediately. House on the trombone, giving us an imitation of our very good friend Russ Morgan with music in the Morgan manner. Sometimes it takes just one song to build a reputation for an artist. Well, here's a song that built a reputation for two people, the orchestra leader and the girl vocalist. Let's listen to it again.
All the girls are crazy about a certain little lad. Although he's very, very bad, he could be awfully good when he wanted to. Bad or good, he understood about love and other things. For every girl in town followed him around just to hold his hand and say, oh, Johnny, how you can love. Oh, Johnny, heavens above, you make my sad heart jump with joy. And when you're near, I just can't sit still a minute. I'm so, oh, Johnny, please tell me, dear, what makes me love you so? You're not handsome, it's true, but when I look at you, I just, oh, Johnny, oh, Johnny, oh.
Certainly that brought back memories of wee Bonnie Baker with the great Orin Tugger organization. And congratulations, Peggy Lennon, on a good imitation. And now let's dance to a great dance band that's been around for a long time and still one of the top dance bands. Are you ready? 1, 2, 3.
Hey, buddy, where's that smile?
Famous 1 o'clock jump. I'm sure you will recognize this next orchestra leader immediately. Rocky Rockwell would like to give you his impression of this great artist. 1 and 2.
Grab your coat. Don't forget your hat. Leave your worries. Leave them on the doorstep, yeah. Just direct your feet to that sunny side of the street. Can't you hear the pitter-pat of them raindrops falling on your window pane? Just direct your little feet to that sunny side of the street. I used to walk in the shade with those blues on parade. Oh, but I'm not afraid, oh no, this the Rover's speed, and if I never have a cent, which I ain't got, I'll be rich, oh, rich as Mr. Rockefeller, lotus at my feet, oh, this sunny side of the street, that, oh yeah.
Hey, Daddy, I want a diamond ring, bracelets, everything. Daddy, you want to get the best for me, Leah. Hey, Daddy, gee, when I look swell in sables, clothes with Paris labels. Daddy, you want to get the best for me, la 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 la. Here's amazing revelation with a bit of stimulation. I'd be a great sensation. I'd be your inspiration. Daddy, I want a brand new car, champagne caviar. Daddy, you want to get the best for me, la la.
With Sammy Kaye. And here's another gentleman with a great dance band who keeps the dancers swinging. Partner Les Brown and his band of renown, and he swings much better with his music than he does with his golf clubs. Here's a gentleman who has a headliner, who's been a headliner for many years. Listen to this sweet music. familiar melody, you're sure to recall a famous piano-playing maestro. In Apple Valley, California. And thank you, Larry Hooper, for Sunrise Serenade. Next, we have an orchestra leader who is also associated with Bubbles. Let's listen to his style. Overdo this, Aladdin. And that was Shep Fields and his rippling rhythm, who now resides in Houston, Texas. Here's a great dance band leader, musician, and composer, and this is one of his compositions. Ellington's famous Mood Indigo by Don Bonnee, Barney Liddell, and Rocky Rockwell. Many of the great orchestra leaders graduated from this next Dixieland band. George Tow, let's have a sample of your former buddies. George Dow, and that was the Dixieland style of Red Nichols and his 5 pennies. Another trumpet-playing maestro with somewhat of a different style, and this time we call on Norman Bailey again.
That was my favorite trumpet player, Clyde McCoy.
Very, very nice, Norman Bailey. Next band leader made musical history by introducing a glee club within a dance orchestra. Let's listen to a very beautiful song he made famous, Sleep.
Sleep, sleep.
And that was a salute to Fred Waring and his Pennsylvanians, who have brought wonderful entertainment to the American audience for a long time. And now, here is another swinging orchestra leader with one of the most popular swing tunes. Gentlemen, are you ready? 1, 2, and...
For joining us for our salute to the big bands. Our special guest was on the very first national television broadcast of the Lawrence Welk Show, and I've had a crush on him ever since. We've all laughed at his hijinks and marveled at his musicianship. Please welcome Rocky Rockwell.
Oh, I love you, Mary Lou.
It's mutual. Does this show from 1960 bring back some memories for you?
Yes, it did. I watched it all. A lot of memories there. And especially with the bands and everything, and the individual, musicians and everything.
And that was the largest band I've ever seen on the Welk Show. Mm-hmm. 8 strings, 5 trumpets.
5 trumpets.
Amazing. So, when you were a little boy in Missouri, what did you want to be when you grew up?
I believe a horn player.
Really?
I believe so, yeah. Or as well as I can remember, I wanted to be a musician, or even because I started out so young.
How did you start with the trumpet?
I lay a lot of the blame, or in grade school, the music teacher's name, you won't believe this, was Mrs. Sharp. And there was some piano players, the girls and violin players, and so Miss Sharp says, I'd like to start an orchestra here. And I loved, just as a kid, I loved that idea. But she said, we would like to have a brass or something. And she said, trumpet player. And she already knew, like those that of us that might have been a little talented as far as having an ear, what we'd call an, musical ear.
Sure.
And she said, so I took that idea home and presented it to my dad, that I want to get in the orchestra there at McKinley grade school. And going to work one morning, my dad was an electrician, and he passed called them hock shop or pawn shop, early in the morning, and in the window was a silver trumpet. My dad looked at it and I guess remembered what I said, bless his heart. And he goes in and he says, "Mister, I only have a $5 bill in my pocket. Will you sell me that trumpet there for my son? He wants to play in a school band and everything." And the guy thought for a minute, and this is the story that my dad told over and over and over. And he took the horn out of the window and gave it to Dad, and he said, "I wish him luck." And everything is a simple story, but that's how I acquired my first trumpet.
Did you love it right away?
Yes. Oh, I never stopped. My dad used to build, this back in the Depression and everything, he used to build what they call crystal sets.
Sure.
And he would put those on my ear. And when he took them off, I would raise a ruckus. Boy, you couldn't hear. I wanted that music, that young, that I believe it was an instigator or something that led me down that. Listen to music,
So how did you happen to meet Lawrence Welk?
Traveling with some traveling bands and everything, and Pauline, my wife, and we settled in Grand Island, Nebraska, and I got a job on a radio station, KMMJ, and Lawrence Welk came through to town, and as he used to do promotional things, he would go to radio stations and, at that time, and make just look around and hand out tickets or pencils. He was a promoter. And so I was playing a broadcast, what do we call ourselves? Oh, golly. But it was just a polka band, and he came in and listened to the broadcast, and afterwards he says, "I'm looking for a trumpet player." Just like that. And said, "Would you be interested?" And I couldn't commit or something like that. And he I was from, I said, "St. Joe, Missouri." He said, "The Frog Hop Ballroom." He says, "I'm going to be playing there. Would you come down and set in?" So I rode this milk train down there. My dad picked me up, took me to the Frog Hop Ballroom that night. And I sat in with Lawrence, and halfway through it, he come back and he says, "Can you do anything else? And sing a song." And I was no singer or nothing, but I knew, so I sang "Sunny Side of the Street." And Pauline's sisters were all in the audience, and a lot of the people there at St. Joe, they knew me. The roof went off of the place, So I sat with Lawrence and Tom Archer, the ballroom operator back there in the Midwest, and he said, "Well, I think I can use you if you'd like to join my band." And he said, "If you can play a polka, you can't be all bad." True story. True. That's how I met Lawrence Welk, and then later on, Dick Dale joined a few weeks before me in Omaha, Nebraska. That's how I came to be with Lawrence's band.
Now, when you were on tour with the band, I understand you had a great story about the Red Rocks Theater in Denver.
With Pete Fountain. We played there. Beautiful place. The acoustics was marvelous. And Pete, as you know, when he joined the band, he was bald. And Lawrence would keep kidding him got to get something growing up here, he would say. And finally, Pete gave in and got a toupee. So we started playing our concert, and the wind was blowing something fierce there.
So this was an outdoor concert?
Mm-hmm. Yeah, Red Rocks Amphitheater. And Lawrence says, "Put your music away, boys." And he told the audience they know everything by heart anyway. So we put the music, put it under our music stands, and he called Pete out to do his thing. And he started playing, and the toupee went like, and I stood up in the brass section with my trumpet and went bang, 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 to that effect, you know. And the people were laughing, and here come the little Lennons and everything, and they're chasing this black object along the floor, Pete's toupee, and brought it back to him. I can remember that so well too. It was the band stopped. You know, the people were roaring in that place.
And I'm sure Lawrence made the most of it.
Oh yeah, oh yeah. It was a showstopper. All right. Yeah, it was great.
Now, were you really Minnie the Mermaid on the show?
Mm-hmm. Larry Hooper's tune. Larry sang, "Oh what a time I had with Minnie the Mermaid," blah 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 blah. And I happened to be, believe this, in a mermaid costume. My legs all tight, stretched down in this tail, you know, down there. And I'm laying on the dock, and I have a gorgeous blonde wig. I don't know where Rose Weiss found that. But I had it laying there and blinking my eyes and listen to Larry sing. Well, the way the song ended, "Down at the bottom of the sea," and I'm supposed to fall off, or I did. I fell off, and Chuck, Crone, and they had some mattresses down there for me to fall, and another guy had a bucket or half a bucket of water, and I was supposed to fall off, drop down on the mattresses, and then he was supposed to throw the water up in the air. Well, I fell. I did my part, you know, but there was no water, and it was a little dead air there, and finally somebody said, the water, and the water come up, and they said later, Rocky fell an awful long way, you know, before I hit.
Well, too, he was live back then.
Larry Hooper. Yeah, I was live, you bet.
Well, you were also married for 57 years.
Mm-hmm.
What's the secret?
What's the secret? I would say there's only one person that could be the secret, and that's Pauline Elizabeth Rockwell.
What a beautiful tribute.
My wife, yeah.
Rocky, we're so lucky to have you here.
Oh,
thanks for joining us.
No, I wouldn't have missed this for the world, Mary Lou.
And thank you all for joining us. And until next time, as Lawrence always said, keep a song in your heart.